Live, guys, we are going to be talking about front wheel drive versus the iconic rear wheel drive. And today we clearly got Nick and his cat over there living it up, living their best life.
The new star of the show. Meet Mika.
Living it up, living their best life.
The,
Yeah.
the new star of the.
Oh, I
But
hear.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
I can already hear a
The echo,
difference
yeah.
on the playback.
Can you? Is it your? You have your volume up on yours or what?
Your volume is down. Swear to God, man.
Really?
You have your volume up on yours or what?
Oh yeah. The
Your
playback,
volume
I
is
hear it.
down. Technical issues, guys. Sorry about it. It's this dude's fault.
My fault. What are you talking about?
You're the host.
I swear it's not supposed to echo like this. Hold on. Oh, that's a bummer. God damn it. Oh, I hear. Wait, hold on. Hold on. All right, hello.
It's a bit better.
Sounds better. Okay, let's hope it's better. All right, guys. So today we are going to be talking about front wheel drive versus wheel wheel drive. Hopefully, I'm not echoing too much on next end. He'll hopefully give me feedback as to if that's going on. But so far, I don't hear it yet. So I'm really praying that that's the case. Oh no, did it disconnect?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Okay, but
We
you can
will
hear
be
me though.
better next time.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Can't get any worse.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all right, let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay, so front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. All right, personally, I've had a lot of front wheel drive cars, and I mean a lot. Like I lost count of how many cars I've had, but I think at least over 10 cars, and most of them, pretty much all of them, were all wheel drive. I mean, front wheel drive, and only two of them rear wheel drive. So that being said, I'm very more leaning towards front wheel drive. I love front wheel drive, especially in that stick shift application. More so because I love the predictability of front wheel drive. You can really go ham on a front wheel drive, and in wet and snowy conditions, you can really recover. And personally, like when I'm in the snow or in the rain, I feel so badass because like I already can predict and know how much wheel spin I'm gonna have on my front tires, so I could already compensate for that. But me being driving rear-wheel drive now, I've driven in the BMW rear-wheel drive and then a Mustang rear-wheel drive. It's quite the headache. It's really fun. I love it, but it's not as predictable as the front-wheel drive. And I feel like I could push my front-wheel drive cars more than I could on my rear-wheel drive cars. So let's hear your
Skill
say.
issue.
Ah, get out of here. Get out of here. Plenty of skill, bro. Look at that.
Well, I will say I've not had as many rear-wheel drive cars as you have, but they're inherently better balanced. There are a few outliers here and there, of course, but
Mustang's not. Not
case
balanced
in
at all.
point, the NA6, the NA generation Miata famously has the battery factory mounted in the boot for better weight distribution.
Mhm.
So like that total 50-50 weight balance right there, like this is the shit I live for. And yeah, okay, there's this unpredictability to a certain extent, but I believe if you practice enough with just about any car, you can get a really good grip on what's it gonna do, when's it gonna do it, so on and so forth. So with my mindset of it would be a good daily, but I want to take it to the track, rear wheel drive is better balanced, which is not to say that you can't have fun with front wheel drive. On the Civic,
Exactly.
just look at our last stream. Like, if Honda Civics were not a good platform, they would not be so popular as they are.
Exactly.
So
They wouldn't
this
be
goes
blowing up
right
this
there.
crazy.
But I will side with money no object. We're FR layout, front engine rear drive, all day, every day.
I
But a
agree.
lot of front
I
wheel drive
like
is
it.
stupid fun, also.
Yeah, like I'm so mixed with both because man, like ideally a rear-wheel drive car constantly now. So like, part of me, like when I'm driving my rear-wheel drive, man, I'm like, man, I miss my Honda, I miss my Corolla. I just want to drive, go on one of them, especially with the handling of those kinds of cars. My BMW was a 50-50 weight distribution car, so it literally handled so amazing. So like, it's kind of cool. I had a good handling rear-wheel drive car and then a bad one because a Mustang does not handle for shit. But that being said,
Mustang unbalanced? What?
shut up. But honestly, that being said, I love rear-wheel drive because like I be hating my rear-wheel drive cars on a like as a daily thing, but when I want to have fun, it is so awesome because like I'll be like I hate it, then I wake up the next morning going to work, I'll take a turn, I kick the clutch, I'll drop the clutch and then kick the rear end out, and what,
Yeah.
man, that thing's so fun. Like when a rear-wheel drive car grips the road, like after it loses traction, then grips the road, it feels so cool. It's like the
Well,
most badass thing.
I'll be right back. I got something for you.
Oh god, here we go.
So, why is rear-wheel drive so popular? Well, like I said, the aforementioned argument are all in its favor. But if I had to point to one factor specifically, it'd be this.
Yeah, I agree. And this will be what started the craze
Yeah,
of
yeah.
real drive,
Yeah.
man.
You're just watching the anime, you pleb. I read the
Whatever.
source material.
Okay. Hey, I like the action right away. Okay. I can't read it. Okay. I'm good. But yeah, no. I that's what also got me started in rear-wheel drive. And it's funny, I've had all front-wheel drive cars, and me never having rear-wheel drive cars, that's all I ever wanted. Rear-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Oh, if I could just get a rear-wheel drive car, and
You
then I
crave
got it.
what you can't have.
Yeah, and then when you have it, you're like, fuck this, man. Well, I mean, depending. Like I said, it's a love and hate relationship. It's rear-wheel drive is
That's
definitely not
project
favorable
cars.
in the. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
But
honestly, I just don't favor them in the weather. In bad weather, like rainy
um,
weather.
sorry. Have I ever told you what my first car was? First car
Nope.
ever.
No. What was it?
1993. Sapphire blue, automatic, 240SX.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, I remember you telling me. That.
Yeah, shit. That was almost 20 years ago. Almost. Let's
Jeez.
round up to 15. I was 19 and I had gotten a bit of money saved away. This car, like, perfect storm out of the blue, like, oh, okay, it's near home, it's a good price. I think it was like $2,500 Canadian, but it was before the drift
The
tax
big
really
blow
like
up. You had
went
a big blow up.
stupid high.
Oh man, yeah, you were lucky to have one of those. I can. I
Yeah,
remember
but
I almost got one. I almost got into one. Think I.
it was all right, but not great. I just haven't had good luck with the S chassis.
I can't speak for that chassis. They are cool, but I feel like
They're
they're real
rotted.
overrated.
They're all
Yeah,
rusted to
there we
shit.
go. They're overrated, man. Like I feel like honestly,
Mm.
if you had to pick between the
I
8.6
would
and the
hesitate
S
to call them
chassis,
overrated.
which one's more overrated though? The 8.6 or the S chassis?
The 86. The 86 is a bit more
Really?
limited. Yes.
Why do you say that?
And not by its engine, by its platform.
Why do you say that?
Well, rear live axle for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the S13 has independent suspension. So, you can play
Oh, I
around with
didn't.
that. So
Yeah.
there's
I didn't
that.
realize that.
Like all the swaps you can do, like swap kits for an S chassis, like RB, JZ, LS, whatever the fuck you want.
That's
There is a
true.
kit out there for that.
That's
The
true.
S chassis is an incredibly versatile platform. The 86, you need more custom work. It works
That's
best with
true.
a 4A base kind of engine. You can
Yeah.
swap other shit into it, and there's probably a swap kit. I have not looked.
Yeah, there's decent amount of swap kits, but not as much as the S chassis, I believe. I agree with that. The S chassis is
I would
just
go
like,
SR.
Yeah,
SR20, like
honestly,
fully
that's all I
built
ever see. I
SR20.
see SR20s. Yeah, that's what I always see, SR20. And when I see it, I remember one of my friends had bought a SR20 swapped. It was really cool, man. I forgot what S chassis it was, but it was so cool. It made so much power, man. That thing was so cool. I wanted it. He was selling it for pretty cheap too, but never got my hands on it.
Well, the funny thing is, like, a lot of people think, oh, you need so much power to drift.
No, you don't.
There's a video, I believe the channel is Car Prime, something like that. You have Taniguchi taking Tsuchiya for driving a drift built S chassis with an SR, 400 horsepower,
Right.
and it's got the angle kit. Like, it performs, but it only has 400. Just goes to show that's what you really need if you can drive.
Yeah, yeah. That's when I want to be into everyone's head. You don't need for especially for drifting and stuff like that. You don't need that much power. And in general, 400 horsepower is plenty in whatever aspect you want to do, whether it's track, whether it's autocross, whether it's drifting, whether it's just on the street. Like 400 horsepower is very much plenty. Even in some
Yeah,
heavy cars, it's plenty. So people got to delete that aspect that 400 horsepower is just not enough.
yeah.
It's
Or
plenty.
you needed two JZ and everything. I would strongly argue that in the case of the Lexus IS 300, it has a 2JZ GE.
Yep.
But the thing is, Toyota nerfed the absolute living shit out of that car when they made it into a Lexus. They made it very cushy, very comfortable,
Hmm.
lazy cruiser, luxury car.
Exactly.
But you compare it to the Altezza RS 200, it has less displacement, two fewer cylinders, less power, and all that. Okay, but it got six gears instead of five. It's got factory LSD with uh, far taller final drive. I think it's like something like 4.7 versus the
Right.
3.7 open diff from factory in the IS 300. Like, car versus car, dude, give me that Altezza all day, every day.
Exactly. No, I agree. I
And
agree.
it's gonna be better balance, less front weight, so a bit better off.
Yeah. No, yeah, completely. Honestly, the things with what was it? The GS 300 also had the 2JZ in it as well, no?
The GS3, yeah, the Aristo,
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
yeah,
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 that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, that had a turbo 2JZ.
Yeah, the race the one did. Sadly,
Yeah,
we didn't get that chance.
so yeah, okay, that's worth it. At 2J, you can put a W58 or R154, I believe it is. Either way,
No,
you can convert it to manual and still go banging gears and drifting the piss out of it. But it is a big car.
but honestly, what was it?
Tracer's good too.
Most what was that?
A Tracer or a Mark II, any JZX 90, 100, something like that. Those platforms, well, kind of like the Aristo. Very good car. Heavy, but stylish. They look good though.
That's true. And speaking of which, like with heavy cars, like we are talking about front wheel drive and rear wheel drive, but all wheel drive is another aspect, and I feel like
Oh. Oh,
aha.
you're the one throwing that wrench in. Okay. After I suggested it, but you're bringing it. All right. All right. Hey, I
I just
see.
throw the wrench
It's all
in,
right. It's all right, bro. All wheel drive, dude. GTR is King Daddy. Well,
All wheel
I,
drive turbo cars, I feel like that's the icing on the cake. I feel like that out of
I
the
would
front
go
wheel
for a
drive
Line
and
Evo.
rear wheel drive. Exactly, there we go. Front all wheel drive turbo cars are like I feel like it takes a cake everywhere.
Because, well, front wheel drive turbo, yeah, it's fun in the straight line, but if you try to, get that power down to the road, like mid turn,
Torque steer.
ain't gonna
Torque steer.
go, yeah, ain't gonna go well.
And it's a lot of stress for front wheel drive. One of its downsides is you're putting a lot of stress on the front tires. Whether you're doing a time attack, whether you're doing whatever, especially if you have a lot of power, you're braking with those front tires, and you're you're putting a lot of power for the steering wheel, and
That's
you're steering
right.
with it.
You're right up to fourth stage, episode 4.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah, Daiki fucked up his front tires, abusing the hell out of it.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. How'd you know? How'd you know? Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things. And what I like about all-wheel drive cars is the amount of grip they have on the road and the kind of the feel of them. It's kind of like I've driven 2 all-wheel drive cars in my life, only 2, and
You
one
feel
of
in
them was
control.
what was that?
You feel in control. You feel
Yeah,
like you have
exactly.
good grip. Yeah.
Exactly. And if it's a triple one, it feels even better because you feel just all the power like surge all oh man, it's so cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool if you guys can get it all wheel drive.
One of my friends had a GC8, a North American 2.5 RS, but turbo swapped. Something
Mhm.
from, I think, SCI version 2 or 3. I'm not sure. It was fun, but that thing was laggy. Like,
Really?
oh, I took it for a drive. From 3,000, you could hear the turbo spool,
Uh-huh.
but it didn't really hit up until 4,000. So I was like, well, to my dismay, that car did not survive.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, if you build this up, like, it's gonna cost a lot, but I would suggest a twin scroll ball bearing turbine for this son of a bitch.
Those
Get
are
it to
badass.
spool sooner.
Those are badass.
Yeah,
Those
but maybe it was not as well maintained as it could have been. I don't know, but the car just didn't feel that well set up. It felt heavy and just didn't have a lot of go to
it
it.
might
But
have I feel you. I've experienced some cars that are like
maybe it just
that.
wasn't set up right. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been. Might
I
have
would
been.
still love a GC8.
I I dream. There's so many cars I dream of getting. And that's definitely on the list of one of them.
Oh yeah, that's a hell of a long list, dude. We undo this roll like it's gonna roll down the street for about a quarter mile.
I gotta end up getting one of them too. I swear to God, I'm gonna have a garage to collect all the cars I'm going to get, and you guys are all going to witness all of them. There's not one car that I can choose I'm going to
Witness
get.
me.
I'm gonna get all of them, all of them, bro. Now, I know this is okay. So for having fun as a project car, which do you think's better, front wheel drive or rear wheel drive? I know we talked about earlier, but what do you think for a nice someone who's just starting out? What do you think they should jump into, front wheel drive
Hmm.
or rear wheel drive?
Well, either way, I would start with something low horsepower.
Low
Ideally,
horsepower.
NA to really learn the mechanics and really get it going. Afterwards, it is possible to increase power, go turbo, whatever, but start a car, I don't know. Depending on the preference, like I said, rear wheel drive is better balanced,
Mm-hmm.
but again, you kick out the rear end just at the right time or the wrong time in this case, and it could bite you in the ass. But front wheel
Yeah.
drive could also bite you with either lift off oversteer or just push you understeer. So as it could either way with an all wheel
Right.
drive. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. Because
Honestly, think.
when
Yeah.
I
Go
got
ahead.
that 240 when I was 19, I wanted to build a drift car.
Right.
And it's funny going through the phases as I grew older. I wanted less and less flashy shit on my car.
Yeah. That's
My
how it
vision
works.
for it changed from pretty much Need for Speed Underground 2 kind of build. Like it wasn't too bad. The vision I had for it would have been like Bayside Blue, you know, the R34 blue.
Right. Yeah.
That with the Signal Auto orange stripes, you know, just like some kind of an arrow on the side, and it kind of splashes towards the back end of the car.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
You
about.
know, with a nice wide body, big ass GT wing. Like it still would have looked nice, but as I got older, I was like, that's a bit much.
Like,
You
let
know
me chill
what?
on this.
White is fine. White can do. You know,
Yeah, a little
And
Warren. That's
you
it.
know,
That's all I need.
18-inch like Volt GTC, like yeah, okay, they look nice, but I mean, I got a set of 17-inch Volt VRX10. They look good too, and they're not quite as flashy, but they do the job. I got more tame, I got more wise. I don't
I
know,
feel like
like
that's
you you
yeah.
you, you see to start getting more mature and be a bit more, or a lot more subdued.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot with. I feel like most car guys is they'll start out hot, hot and flashy with what they want to throw onto their cars, like throwing on GT spoilers and throwing on a nice body kit and lowered wheels, all this stuff, all this flashy stuff like you were talking about, and then you just mellow out. It's like literally what you were talking about. What when we were in Need for Speed, and we were modifying the set out of them. Now, if we go into Need for Speed, we're not putting crazy decals. We're not putting crazy this and crazy that. We just have stock color, lowered, nice, decent rims, and then just send it because we're focusing on the power or whatever
Yeah,
we're
dude.
handling.
If you want to blast from the past, like, oh, I wasn't that racy, I wasn't that much of a racer on underground too.
Mine
Yeah,
was really bad. Mine was really bad.
pop in one of those bad boys in a PS2, see for
Oh
yourself.
man, he has a memory
You're
card.
gonna be like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what was I thinking?
I already saw some of the cringe of my old
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
It's pretty bad. It's
and
pretty bad.
the funny thing is, I played it back maybe about a year or two ago. Need for Speed Underground 2. Okay, let's do a Run through. I got stuck. Like I could not progress because of the rating system. You have to rise the shit out of it to get a certain rating
Right.
to then be able to progress. So I got soft lock because I wasn't right enough.
Yeah, I remember
Like
one of my friends telling me about that.
ah,
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
a patch on PC that gets rid of the rating system.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, because I remember that patch. One of my friends was telling me. I was like, "Damn, that sucks, bro. Like, I had to race my car out on purpose, bro. It's
Yep.
not even fair."
But the
Yeah.
thing is, there's kind of a workaround around that. You say you have your main car, you do the whole campaign through it, but then you have like another car that you race the shit out of just for those whatever
Oh, yeah.
events
No,
it
I
might
totally
be,
get it. Yeah, I
and
totally
then you
get it.
go
Yeah,
back to your more sober main car,
more sober.
or more tasteful, I should say.
There we go. There we go. More tasteful. That's more like it. That's more like it. Man, I gotta say though, going back onto like the topic that we were discussing earlier, I feel like if any of you guys are on the fence of doing either or, whether it's getting all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, I feel like one of the things that you guys should do and consider is possibly just going front-wheel drive because if it ends up being a car that you want to drive more often and more comfortably, I think front-wheel drive actually might suit you good. And if you're, most of us are pretty stupid at our 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 19-year-old phase. So we like doing stupid shit. And, if you get like a Mustang like me at a younger age, you're going to slam that thing into a pole, bro. Like, people get overly confident in rear-wheel drive cars and they end up just totaling the motherfucker just because they think it's cool to drift on a wet surface. So I don't know.
Oh,
I feel
wag
like
that finger,
I
man.
don't know.
Uh.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I think most should go front-wheel drive. But if you're not going to be, if you're tame enough and mature enough, go do either or. Go wheel drive if you can. But most of us aren't that mature in the beginning, and I see a lot of stupid people at a young age doing stupid shit with their wheel drive cars. So, and I don't blame them, but
Dude, if you're young and stupid enough, front wheel drive ain't gonna save you. You will still
yeah,
do stupid shit,
you're right. Because I
regardless.
was drifting in a parking lot in my front wheel drive car in the snow.
What I would say, what I would recommend is if you can have access to, you know, every platform, like uh, any kind of drivetrain, if you can have access to test drive a Civic or, you know, an FRS, if you can have access to those, try them out.
Exactly.
A track day might be a good idea. I don't know if there's any
Yeah.
around, but say, in my experience, there's Sanail Raceway about hour and a half from me, and you can ride shotgun with everybody that accepts to take you on a ride. So it
Right.
could be, hey, can I have a ride in your A92 Corolla or your Civic or your S2000 or
Right.
whatever, And
Right.
if they accept, it's like you can get a good feel for it.
Exactly. There you go. And you could kind of fall in love with whichever one it is too. Like you kind of, even though you're not behind the wheel, if you can't test drive it, just being in the car, you feel like you. Trust me, you'll get hooked like that. Especially if you love the car
You can get
and
a
you love how
feeling
it
for how
handles.
it moves, but to be fair, not everybody can feel it as well as others.
That's
Like
true. It's a little bit different
there's a
when you're
scene in
actually behind the
Rush.
wheel. Hmm.
Sorry, there's a scene in Rush 2013. How Niki Lauda met his wife, and in the movie he's criticizing everything about her car, and she's like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I just had this car serviced. Ah, not a good one." And she asks, how do you know everything that's wrong with my car?" And he goes, "My ass." She goes, "What?" "God gave me an okay mind, but a really good ass which can feel everything in the car."
That's this guy.
And
I've never heard of that one.
l- seeing interviews with Lauda, like he's more PR friendly,
Mm,
officially, but that's something I could have seen him say
that's
because
something
he
you
was
could have
known
what?
for being, dude, I could have seen Lauda say something like that. He was known for being very direct, very to the point, like no bullshit.
Right, right, right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
You know, work out your ass. Which
I I do gotta say though, I completely agree with you, man. Like, yeah, I feel like that's something everybody should do. Everyone should go to the track. Everyone should get behind a wheel, and everyone should just kind of feel before you even buy. Because sometimes you might get into a car that
yeah.
you
Well,
actually don't like.
I'd say regardless of your car, at least once, depending on how serious you might be, if you want to build up your car, at least once, splurge some money, get some good sports tires.
Yeah, that's true. That
Regardless
changes
of
the
what
whole
your car
experience.
is, I had like pretty much track tires that I wanted to put on my Corolla. I ended up putting them on my piece of shit Micra, and I was like, dude, these cars are so much fun to drive.
Yeah, how tires change everything, man. Tires change the entire aspect of most cars completely.
So yeah,
Completely,
like
I mean.
you can get a better feel of how your car feels and works. Like, okay, I got good tires, but now it's wallowing too much. Maybe stiffer springs, maybe sway bars. If you really want to go that route, or you will feel it's too understeery. This car ain't for me.
I agree.
Now, budget being a very real problematic. Um, well, it's up to the owner to decide what are you gonna do. Do you
That's
keep this
true.
car? Do you sell it, get something else entirely? Do you keep it but
Hmm.
buy something, on the side and build it up? Do your research. That's very, very crucial. Do your fucking homework. You can
Which
never
most
have too
people
much
don't do.
info.
Yeah, most people don't do. But that's
Well, then,
definitely, yeah, the more info, the better. Completely. Especially when it comes to something like this, whether you're going front wheel drive, all wheel drive, or even rear wheel drive. But but hey Nick, I have to end the live stream early. I gotta go somewhere. But
well, we're
I
almost at 30 minutes, so it's not that early.
Yeah,
It's all right.
there we go. All right. So thank you for joining the stream, and we'll definitely do another something like this. Thank you guys all for watching the stream, and I'm all for front wheel drive, but to each their own. I like rear wheel drive too, so I'm not a hater. All
Well,
wheel
I do
drive
love
can have its
my
use.
front wheel drive, I'll be honest. But,
It's the best of both worlds. There we go. Had to end it
next
like
time
that.
on Initial D.
All right. Catch you guys later. Okay.